Welcome to one of my all-time favorite games, Call of Duty World at War. Now, if you have quite literally been living under a rock at the bottom of the ocean, then most of you will have heard this game. This game takes place World War II, terrifying era to have lived through. I would have loved to have not quite lived through it, but definitely experienced it. And talked to most of these people who went through this terrible, terrible experience. We'll just start a new game. We'll go regular, whatever. This is non-political, by the way. And with that intro concluded, those videos were probably real. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. The Japanese were just brutal to anybody who they imprisoned. You just gotta hear stories of the Japanese. It's just brutal.
You think cause you say nothing. You think cause you say nothing. You are strong. You are strong. 貴様は強く。貴様は強く。強情なやつめ。強情なやつめ。米兵どもはみんなこうなのか。米兵どもはみんなこうなのか。二人とも殺せ。二人とも殺せ。
Go to hell. Go to hell. 貴様は強くない。貴様は強くない。
Miller. You're okay. You're okay. We're gonna make him pay for it big time. We're gonna make him pay for it big time.
Yeah, so pretty much the freaking assholes were just brutal. Like, they would feed I'm Canadian, so they would feed the Canadians rice. They would feed, and like, just rice. Like, no meat, no nothing. Just rice, and their treatment of their prisoners was just brutal. Like, Canadians treated their prisoners so well that, like, lots of people who went to Canadian, like, prison camps stayed. Like they, like the Germans stayed. It was just brutal. Ah, fuck. Stupid Japanese. There we go. I have just stopped an entire storyline of beautiful cinematic movie of Saving Private Ryan. There's actually, on the Xbox, there's an achievement for that. It's Saving Private Ryan, and you just have to kill that dude. Bitch. And, yeah, that movie was, that was a good movie. Yeah, like, frick, World War One, World War Two, it's just brutal. Like, most of the stuff you see in video games, they're like a good representation of roughly what happened, but nowhere near how gory and just unforgiving the world would have been during these times. Like, oh yeah, and like I said before, this is non-political. I don't hate the certain cultures for what they have done. Like this is true of what they used to do. They just booby trapped the shit out of stuff, which was completely just nobody ever thought of anything to do that, right? Even the Germans didn't booby trap enemies, booby trap things. I mean, they put landmines and stuff down, but that's just kind of, you know, expected. So, yeah. Like I learn, I mean, we've done so much learning in all, like I take, still in school and I take all of my history courses. I love that stuff. I like doing archaeology, paleontology, history. It's all fascinating to me, but like this modern war is just insane on how brutal and how many lives it cost. And see, this was just completely against the Geneva Convention. To pretend to play dead is just, even though, as you may or may not know, there are rules to warfare. Like, you can't just do whatever you want. There are rules and regulations that you have to follow to not get branded as a bad guy and have your nation's name just soaked in blood for the rest of its existence. Oh my god. You stupid bastard. Ugh. Stupid bastard. And I am hoping to eventually be a collector of these old war weapons. I might do a video on them when I have all my regulations and everything all planned out. Might have a couple friends over, we'll do some target practice. I know I can secure 2 Lee Enfield rifles, one from World War I and one from World War II. Okay, where is that son of a bitch? There he is. Alright, so somebody did actually kill him. I'll probably just do each episode as like a mission. And this kind of short. More of like a history style game where I'll just talk about history and my love for it. Just what I want to do eventually. Alright, there we go. First time I did this, it took me so goddamn long. Okay, you wanna kill a bastard? Alrighty. Stupid thing is, I wonder if I toss something in there. Okay, you might think I'm just insane, but like, yeah, this bit. Come on, let me shoot them. Fuck off. We just left some of our boys. Come on. There we go. Big explosion. Fuck. Yeah, this was just kind of like a small video. Maybe I'll do. Yeah, I'll probably stop here when this is done. It's pretty late for me. It's 11:30 at the end time of recording this, so you'll see that bit again. And yeah, already. Well, and if you're interested more in World War II, Netflix has great documentaries. There's one that I was watching, and it's called Medal of Honor. I mean, it's only for the Americans, but man, oh man, I'm not normally one to tear up over any movie. Like, I watched multiple, like, super good characters die. Like, there's probably still people out there that watch Lion King and watch Mufasa die. I didn't cry at that one. Watching that and seeing the capability of human man, or man, woman, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, because it's offensive to say otherwise. I mean, I really don't care. I think there's two genders. But, man, was it powerful, and the sacrifices they made for us to be doing this. It was heavy, and it was the only ever show that I've ever watched where I started tearing up. And just thinking about their sacrifices, and the sacrifices that not only theirs, but all of the sacrifices of World War II for either side. Because, yeah, you can say that the Allies were the good guys, but the Allies went unpunished. Yeah, the Nazis killed 6 million Jews. That's what they tell you in school. They don't tell you that they killed another 6 million undesirables. And undesirables means like gays, blacks, basically disabled people, people that Hitler did not seem fit to fight or to reproduce. So that makes the cost of people who died in the Holocaust up to 12 million people. Nobody knows, not many people know about that. And that really hurt, like that affects me and hits me hard, as one of my little brothers is pretty heavily handicapped. I love him to death. He's favorite brother, he loves me. And I know that because every time I'm near him, he starts laughing, and he's always having a good time. But, like, and you can also have to think that if France and Britain weren't so damn harsh on Germany to begin with the Treaty of Versailles, Hitler would have never been able to rise to power. And if they had put blame on the true, I'm not pointing fingers, but I mean, this nation no longer exists, but Austria-Hungary is the true reason World War I started. They started World War I by attacking Serbia, who had an alliance with Russia, who had an alliance with France, who had some decent ties with Britain. Austria-Hungary had ties with Germany, Italy, and the Ottoman Empire. As we all know, it didn't work out too well, and all blame got put on Germany. And being German, well, being of German background, I am heavily mixture of all sorts of stuff. But, like, so many things could have prevented World War II. And, I mean, the destruction that you see in the game, and the games that you see nowadays, like, with the release of Call of Duty World War II a few years ago, I was playing a game and it hit hard. It hit hard. I recently bought Battlefield 5, also set in World War II. And my fucking lord, that hit harder. I actually nearly cried at the end of, I think it was The Last Tiger war story in that. And it just proves that the Nazis were just lying sons of bitches. And they brainwashed the young. And I read about these stories of the wars, and me being 18 next year, well, this year, I read of boys, not men, boys, my age, younger, fighting on the lines of, well, in World War One, you had boys like 16, 17 enter the war, and for either side, and I think I'm way too lucky to be doing this. I mean, I'm a farm kid, but I mean, I would have, I mean, to this day, I would still gladly lay down my life on the line for friends, family, and my country. But I have to be fighting for my moral right reason, not just, I mean, if there's another dictator like Hitler who was planning to take over the world, I'd gladly lay my life down for stopping that, for a better future for more people. But the conventions of warfare now are just beyond my imagination. Like, we can now kill people from kilometers away. The only way that, like, these guys in World War One soldiers were able to do that was with, like, super advanced artillery. And even that barely killed. That was always a 50-50, really. So, alrighty, well, hope you guys enjoyed this. This was pretty heavy episode, well, pretty heavy video for me. World War II is always just, well, world wars, and pretty much after the Cold War, nothing's interesting and nothing hits heavy like these wars of just the 20th century wars up until, like, pretty much right after Vietnam. Well, like, World War One to Vietnam, those are just the wars that with firearms that really interest me. Every all beyond that, I'm super interested in, like, the Romans, the Greeks, everything like that. But nothing comes to the devastation and horror as these. So, thanks for watching. There'll be more. I'm gonna play through this, probably play some World War Nazi Zombies. So, yeah. Maybe I'll probably get on a podcast with Slacker Boy, and he's a good buddy of mine, and do a podcast with him on his channel, and I'll probably upload roughly the same footage, but instead of he just was on Discord, I'll probably have it where I'm playing Nazi Zombies. So, alrighty, thanks for watching. I know this was a bit of a short one, but I'm gonna do each video with a little bit of knowledge on where, and beautiful voice cracks, of where and what was happening during this time. So this is, I believe this takes place 42, 43, 41, around there. It was when Japan attacked. I think it was 41, or it was 40. I think it might have been 40, when Japan attacked the US on December 7th. And I'll have to look that up, but yeah. just the other thing that intrigues me is it's not professional soldiers fighting, it's your school teachers, your shop owners, your cobblers, your blacksmiths, your weaponsmiths, your everybody's fighting. Just nobody's trained to do this. Nobody's. I mean, you have your bit of training, but yeah. So yeah, it was 1941 when the Japanese bombed American fleet in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. So, and when we get to the end of this bit of a segment of the campaign of World at War, I'll share something about a little bit of nuclear facts and my something bit about me on the last episode of this. The last episode I know was Russian, but Peace Reznov, favorite character. But yeah. So it'll be a bit of knowledge about me, a bit of facts, and throughout this it'll be more of like a facts of World at War or World War Two, World War One, what was leading there. I'm not actually a historian. I'd love to be, but I've seen so many history stuff that you can just look up yourself um on Netflix. There's many documentaries. World War Two in color is good, informative, but yeah. So see you guys in a bit. Well, probably upload another one of these tomorrow. So I'm also probably gonna upload, see if I can do some D&D stuff. So yeah. So well, D&D won't be here for a while. We're doing a couple just starting stuff, cause we're pretty inexperienced and pretty dumb. So we're doing the starting campaign for that, and friends making a new one. Friends making a campaign. I have a campaign made. We have like 4 campaigns that we can play. So I should get a fair amount of stuff there, and yeah. So we'll see you guys when we start episode 2. Well, the second mission of Call of Duty World at War. And if you ever need anything, just hit me up. I do have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Well, not quite. I'll set up. I do have a Twitter account, Canadian Commie. In the process of changing my my YouTube name. Red the Conqueror is what I use when I play Age of Empires, but haven't really played that much. And I do have an Xbox, and when I do eventually get a game capture card, I will be putting up Xbox videos. And yeah, so this is the part where I'll end it, and we'll see you guys again.